Hello to everyone this evening. Oh, let me turn off my feedback. How are you this evening? I am Eve with the Baby's Booty, and we are coming to you live during this boring quarantine. I hope you haven't been as bored as I could be if I weren't working so hard. And I am worn slap out. And you know what? I just happened to realize, and I apologize, I didn't really realize with it being a holiday today. I hope I'm not taking any time away from your families, but welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I am worn out. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on tonight. Meaning over probably, I don't know, an hour or so, because I am tired. I listened to my mom and I took a nap and ended up just wearing myself out even worse in a way, because it kind of gave me one of those you didn't sleep good headaches. You know how that goes. So that's where I'm at right now. But at any rate, hello to everyone that is joining us. Miss Ethel Smith was first and foremost in the house. Hey, Miss Ethel Smith and Tanya Gurley. Trendy Lioness Couture. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Robin Bryant, Larry Washington, Carolyn, Strachan. Hello, how are y'all? Thank you very much. March Campbell, hello, thank you. Andrea Ross and Tanya Gurley are YouTube Hoop Group members, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Hey, Sheila Cushenberry. I emailed you, Sheila. Please respond to my email. I did email you in response, and thank you for sending me your information. But I did email you because it's in the email. Ray Williams, hello. Stephanie Smith, hello. Thank you very much. Rhonda English, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us live for the first time. We really, really appreciate it. American Eagle Embroidery and Graphics, Miss Debbie Kidd and Contessa Harris, thank you to the both of you for being YouTube Hoop Group members, and welcome. Thank you. Inspiration Creations, Lori from Canada, saying hello. Hope everyone is staying safe. Thank you, Lori. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us. Hope you didn't get any of that nasty weather. And then that's the other thing, we've got a nasty front coming through. Tonight, actually, they're calling for severe weather here in the south. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out, because we have the big trees and the wind is blowing really hard out there. So hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, if I had been thinking about it, Debbie, I probably wouldn't have if I had thought super hard about that because I don't like to intrude on family holiday time. So I probably wouldn't have been had I thought a little bit harder about that. You gotta be kidding. Hello, welcome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Pamela Banks, hello. How are you, Debbie D? Hey, Debbie D. Welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member, Miss Debbie D. You've been making masks and making them all weekend. Tanya says, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is insane. Insane. And I want to tell y'all something too. How many people in here? Okay, we're gonna wait a little bit because I had a moment the other day, and it reflected me back to the conversation we had last Sunday about the masks and embroidery with the mask. So I want to throw something out there and see if everybody else kind of thinks the way I do. I don't know. That was interesting when I really thought about it. Stay home, stay safe. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I like your name. We're gonna have to put you a picture up. That's like a stay hand or something. Give you a picture. Marianne Reddick, hello. How are you? Karen Murray, how are you? Welcome. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. I appreciate you letting me know that. That is totally awesome. And I don't do very much. I just do what little I can. So thank you very much for telling me that. Janice Haynes, hello, welcome. Thank you. Shonda Coleman, hey dear, how are you? Welcome. Miss Judy Taylor is in here. Knick Knack Nurse is in here. Hello, how are you? Michelle Anderson, hello. Everything for the most part is well. A little tired, but everything's well. So on, so on. Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh, you did get your bling. Awesome. When Miss, ooh, where is it? Pearl Lucas comes in, I'll let her know. I have yet to get it out. I have to get it back out to her. Didn't get a chance to. Tanya says it's storming in Huntsville, Alabama. Yeah, that's the storm that's coming this way. So a little concerned about that this evening. Miss Nancy Fowles from Iowa. Hello, how are you? Welcome. She said, "Yep, it's supposed to be pretty nasty weather there tomorrow." Wow, yeah, I know it's funny because farther west, my son who lives in Nebraska, by the way, told me to tell each and every one of you hello, because I just got off the phone with him to come over here to do the live. They have snow, so it's snowing very hard there. So he's in Lincoln, Nebraska, and said that the snow is coming down pretty hard. And it's been snowing all day. So I'm glad I'm in Charlotte, Carolina, where we don't get snow like that, because I don't know that I'd be able to deal with that. Ooh, chad, I'd be ready to fight. I look outside and see it snowing. Chad, I need it to be warm. Eartha Lewis, hello, how are you? Teresa Gorman, hello, how are you? Lupe, hey Lupe, how are you? Glad to see you back in and well, hopefully. Karen Murray from Canada, taking a break from sewing masks. I'm trying to tell y'all, if you ain't in there on that hot box, you need to be. If you ever wanted to make money, ever in your life thought that your crafting would not make money, now is the time to be crafting these masks. I'm trying to tell y'all, it is insane. And although they're saying that, I know reports from government is saying that May it will probably, all the restrictions be lifted and blah, 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 blah. But there are still areas that haven't been hit as fully with the curve and trying to stop the curve. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this pans out. But the consensus amongst everyone that I'm seeing and hearing is they're going to be wearing masks until toward the end of the year, because they don't want to take the chance. All right, so they're going to adopt like the mindset that's overseas in China, where they wear masks. As a matter of fact, they've been wearing masks for years, because according to the culture, there's like, it's rude to be out and about with a cold or be sick and not wear a face mask, because what that does is when you cough, when you sneeze or whatever, you wear in the mask, and then it protects other people from cold germs and stuff like that. So they've been adopted that, and then there's a lot of I don't want to say antisocial, but I'll say introverted folks that wear the mask because they just feel like if you got a mask on, then you can't approach me and just talk to me out the blue type situation. I read that in that article about China and then wearing masks. And this is an article I read long before COVID came out. This was like back in October, November, December-ish. I was reading that, and I thought it was just really interesting because, as I mentioned last week, I was looking at how to make masks back then. It wasn't for COVID, but it was just because I was interested in it. I can't remember. It was something I was doing, and I can't remember why I was looking at it, but I was. So at any rate, over there, they're looking at not over there, but here we're looking at adopting that mindset and wearing the mask anyway, just to keep safe. So if you have ever, I am telling you, this thing hit me from, I don't want to say nowhere, because I knew that there were people out there making masks, and I knew that it would be a thing. I didn't realize it was just going to be like, bow, here, let's make these masks. People were calling me that I hadn't heard from and was like, hey, we hear you're making masks. And I'm like, how you hear I'm making masks? I didn't tell anybody, or I got the phone call, I know you sew, can you make masks? And I'm sitting here like, wow, this is crazy. So it's like, you might as well jump on that bandwagon, even if you are, not really trying to make necessarily a business out of it, but if you want a little bit of extra pocket change, why not make them, So at any rate, I just wanted to throw that out there again because I am still in shock from the amount of orders we've been processing on making masks. And this is the first half. This isn't the second half. And then just got another order, personal order, possibly for 100 masks. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know. I don't know. Help me. Help me. So yeah, it's interesting to see how this is opening up for crafters. Actually, it's like crafters' time to shine, and I absolutely love it. It's really cool. Let's see. Are people still buying masks? I made some today and wasn't sure if they will sell. As long as you let folk know you got them, Debbie, they are buying them. Yes, very much so. Very, very, very much so. Lupe, yes, we are. Thank you very much. And Tanja, thank you. Lucy says hello from Jersey. Welcome from Jersey. Appreciate you being here. Sheila says we got hit with the thunderstorms this morning and lost power after having to take the mother-in-law to the hospital at 5 a.m. So this is the highlight of my day. Oh no, I hope she's okay by now. Oh, the hospital is not the place to be this time around now with the virus. That's crazy. Aisha Earth, hello from Brooklyn, New York, I'm assuming. And if so, I hope you are doing well. There's a lot of folks up there that have passed away in Brooklyn alone. It is insane. It's insane to see it and to know about it. I mean, personal friends who have lost loved ones in Brooklyn. So I hope you guys are well, you and your family. Patricia Husky, hello, my dear. Thank you very much. And thank you as well for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate that. Ro says, hello from Montreal. I'm learning how to digitize in quarantine. Yay! And will only have access to a machine after this craziness. Any tips for me? Tips for you with digitizing, take your time and learn it all the way through. And the reason why I say that is because if you wait until, or if you learn just enough and then you get to the machine, what you'll find will happen is you'll learn digitizing just enough to get on the machine and do some things you might want to do. And it takes away from you continuing to learn and advance and get to your higher skill level. Or at least that's the way it was in my case. The machine can be distracting. So what you can do at this point is, take your time, learn from experts. And I don't care who you know, who you don't know, who you're affiliated with, who you're not affiliated with, who you like, who you don't like. I do know for a fact that John Deere is a master at digitizing. And if you want to learn from the best, look him up and learn from him. I know that for a fact. And the proof is in the results and the stitch outs. The proof is there. So if you want to learn from the absolute best, I would definitely learn from him. So look him up definitely and get some pointers, a lot of pointers. Matter of fact, if you could take his classes, I would do that. But that's, there used to be some free stuff out there for him. Don't know if it still is, but definitely look up John Deere digitizing, and you will do well following his advice. Pearl Lucas, I was just talking about you, my dear. I did not get your bling back out in the mail, and I need to do so, but I will definitely do that this week coming. Teresa Gorman says Missouri is storming here, so please be safe and be careful. I will tell you, like my grandma used to say, go somewhere, sit down, cut all the lights and everything off and be quiet and let the Lord do his work. And I'm laughing, but she's right. It was like, you need to just chill out and absorb the energy from the storm and let it do what it does and gain peace from it. But at any rate, still be careful. Miss Social Deb, hello. Oh, Felicia Storm, hello. How are you? The storm is over my head here in Birmingham, Alabama. She says, but since it's still her birthday, she's still happy. Well, I tell you what, this storm is nothing to play with. So please be careful. And thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Social Deb, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And hello to you as well. Mom of 12 says, hi, how are you doing? I have a question. Is there a way to make masks with the Brother SE 425 4x4, even if it means sewing 2 embroidered pieces together? Now, let's see, we're at 74. So I have not seen a 4x4 mask as of yet. All right. But we will get into another point if I can here in a little bit, and we'll get into it a little bit more of my thought process on what I came up, or just a revelation that came to me day before yesterday, actually, in talking to a customer. But as far as 2 embroidered pieces together, maybe one that you sew on the machine, because you said the SE 425. So the good thing about that machine is it's a sewing machine too. So even if you're not doing the embroidery part initially, you create the mask with the sewing machine part, and then come back later and add the embroidery, or add the embroidery to the fabric itself prior to, and then sewing it together. You see what I'm saying? That may be an option, but I have not heard of a full 4x4 mask being put together, even sectioned on a 4x4 hoop. PJ Coppage, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Felicia says she's cutting masks and surgical caps as we do this live. Surgical caps, that's what's up. I've seen the bonnets. Are yours the bonnets or the caps? That would be cool to know. Mr. Sparix, Charlotte, I'm in Elkin, just above you, 70 miles or so. We'll be getting bad weather in the morning, high winds. Yeah, the high winds have started here in Howdy Neighbor. I am somewhat familiar with where Elkin is. But yes, we are getting the winds right now. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm always nervous with wind because of the trees. We have so many trees here in Charlotte, and my yard is like, every tree on the planet is in my yard. So it's just like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a mess in the morning. Lupe Ruiz says, I'm doing good, thanks. That's good to know. Thank you for letting me know that, because I was worried about you. Mary Binkley, good evening to you as well. Thank you for being here. Marge Campbell says, I gave up embroidery masks. I just sew them, cut them out 10 today. Yesterday we did 35 masks. 35, and I was booking trying to get them things done. Borcua Sewing and Crafts. Hi Eve, hope all is well. It is. You did answer. Okay, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate it. Was it today? Well, it don't matter. I'll check it. Deborah Van says, hi Eve from Bloomington, Indiana. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Borcua says, it's very difficult to find fabric now. Yes, y'all. Amazon was sold out of sewing machines too. It's amazing. That is crazy. I did not know that. But I will say, Walmart, in the span of a week, y'all. Has it been a week since I put up the website? How long has it been since I put that website up? It ain't been 2 weeks. About a week and a couple of days. In the span of a week, Walmart's fat quarter section wiped out. Wiped all the way out. The section where, because bear with me, I have one, which I haven't been to that one yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 Walmarts, five Walmarts that I just frequent all the time, because I know if I can't find one at this one, I can go to that one. If I can't find it at that one, I can go to that one. I have 5 in close proximity that I go to. None of them, even the because 1, 2, 3 of them have fabric on the bolt still, where you can have fabric cut. But they also have started implementing, which this will probably help these stores, but they've also started implementing the pre-cut fabric, 2 yards to a little thingy and it's hanging up. All of that is gone. I mean, white clean. I have never in my million years, and I've never seen that. Never seen it. All the fat quarters gone, all the cotton fabric, all the cool cotton fabric. Anyway, they had a ton of stuff like Harry Potter and some interesting looking fabrics left, but solid colors gone. I mean, it was just crazy to see it, y'all. This is some weird, like I said, the crafters time is now. If you haven't had it, ever seen a season where it's for us, now it's for us. So my next project is going to try with sublimation. All right, so for those of you guys who are in here and you do sublimation as well, try and find a polyester that's a little stiffer than your flimsy poly. You know, like this is a little flimsy. That's not gonna work. A little stiffer. It's poly. Even if it's 65-35 poly cotton, try that and try sublimating that to make your own design fabric and watch what happens. Watch what 85 of y'all heard that. 85 of you. So if you're doing sublimation and you want to make money and you want to try the mask and you want to see how it takes, try sublimation on that and make the first layer, the top layer, the outside, sublimate that, put your inner layer, if you're doing an inner layer, and then your back layer cotton. So it could be ugly cotton, it don't matter, because usually people have that to their face anyway, and the outside design will be on the outside. Try it and watch what I'm saying. I'm telling y'all, watch what I'm saying. I try not to steer you wrong. I'm just saying. So at any rate, the fabric is crazy, and knowing that sewing machines on Amazon are sold out is even more insane. So Pearl Lucas, you're so right, E. My phone has been ringing and text for masks. Hi, Melody Wilcox. Hey dear, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Appreciate you being here. And she says she works at Joann Fabrics and we're going crazy. I bet. Man, I wish I could get into a Joann's and find the fabric that I want, but you know. Sheila Cushionberry, yes, scary because she's 80 and she has leukemia and kidney failure, so is immune suppressed. Oh my gosh. I hope she has a mask. I hope you guys have been getting a mask for her and stuff, but please, we'll have prayers and hope that she is able to maintain without any extra pain and or suffering, because no one needs to suffer when you already dealing with kidney failure and leukemia. Come on, bruh. This time, the time that we're in right now is a trip. Tanya Gurley says John Deere is great. You have Hatch software. I'm trying to tell you. Burkua says John Deere is amazing. His family has been embroidering for generations. That is correct, which is why I'm saying what I say. You know, I don't know him personally. I've met him once. He was a decent guy when I met him. I have watched several of his videos. He's who got me into Hatch, quite honestly, but not knowing this person personally or whatever, not having any financial connection, you know, promoting folks because I get kickback, blah, blah, none of that. It's just, I know for a fact this is a very good resource for anyone who wants to learn how to digitize. He is excellent. He's the best out there for learning to digitize. And I'm saying it because it's the truth. So very professional opinion. It is my opinion, but it's a very professional opinion. So definitely, if you want to learn digitizing the proper way, he would be the route to go, because this is the thing. Anytime you learn from someone, who would you rather learn from? Someone who has it in their background and has seen it developed from hand embroidered, machine embroidered, where they got to punch in codes and stuff and see it build up into now everything's done by computer and setting things up the proper way for things to digitize out or stitch out rather, or someone who just developed a program and is like, hey, learn how to digitize. Learn from the best if you can. And this person is actually offering his services and teaching people how to do it. Yeah, it's pricey, but I guarantee it's the best that's out there, and you will learn how to do it properly. And that's the most important thing, because there's a lot of folks out there that auto digitize, or they don't learn how to do a stitch out properly. So for instance, normally when I do an embroidery job for customers, my customers that are regular customers that come in, I let them know, let me get the thing digitized, because I have a couple of digitizers that I deal with. Well, this most recent time I had a customer come with 24 shirts that needed a logo, left chest logo digitized, and I quoted them the price, and they said, well, ours is already digitized. And I said, well, I normally don't take pre-digitized designs and do them, but at the time it was work, and this was last week, 2 weeks ago, and I said, well, before doing masks, I needed to work. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and take it, but whatever stitches out is what stitches out. I have no control over it. So if it turns out and you don't like it, sorry, it's not on me. You have to sign saying that. So they were cool with it because, they wanted their shirts. Man, that thing stitched out perfectly. When I say perfectly, it's to the point where when you have to trim jump stitches, the jump stitches were placed in such a way that it's easy to cut them out. The way the design even stitched out, even based on what color went first and how it stitched out, it was a gorgeous stitch out. Not the design itself, just how it stitched out. It was amazing, and it made it so easy for me, because as soon as it came off the machine, I clipped my stitches. It was like 4 jump stitches because letter I's were in the name. 4 jump stitches, stitched them, tossed it, folded it, put up to the side, and on to the next one, and it was like nothing. And then the other way it stitched, like another part of the logo, the jump stitch blended in so well with the design that you couldn't even see the jump stitch. So it was really no point in cutting it because it blended in and looked like a part of the design. So that's what I mean. When you learn how to digitize properly, then you'll see the ways that you can digitize a design and make it easier for you or whomever the end user is of that specific embroidery design. So I'm on a quest now to find out where they got that digitized from, and that's probably who I'll be going through from now on, because it was just amazing, and it stitched out, and the image itself stitched out beautifully as well. It looked great. So definitely learn from John Deere, and I don't know who those people learn from, but he's an excellent instructor. Andrea Ross, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I think I told you that already, but it's okay. I'm gonna tell you again. She says, yes, masks are still in demand here in Maryland. You have to wear them out. You can't go into any store here without a mask on, and that's kind of how it really needs to be. It really does. Folks down here are just not taking this thing seriously. We went to Walmart. I needed more fabric, and I went to Walmart, and I'll say it was roughly 50. I think it might have been less than that. 50% were wearing masks, and the other folks was walking around like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Do you not care? This is crazy. But anyway, let us see. Marianne Reddick says, Melody Wilcox, you're doing a great job. I work at Michael's and people are needing their supplies. Yes, we are. It just really makes me sad that I'm limited to Walmart for the most part to get my stuff. So, but anyway, Cindy Lou, good evening, even everyone here tonight. Good evening to you as well, Cindy Lou. Welcome. Miss 143. Hey, yes, that's old school. Let the Lord do his work. Wendy here in Dallas. Yeah, that old school stuff. I absolutely love it. I love the older folks and learning from the feet of the gods, I say. Felicia Storm, I am doing the bouffant, the ponytail cap, and male surgical caps. Oh, cool. Okay, ponytail cap. Neat. Oh, that's cool. So are they able to wear with their hair? You know what? Send me pictures, Felicia, please. I'd love to see your work. If you don't mind, or if you have a website, drop it to my email, thebabiesbooty@gmail.com. I'd love to see it. Mom of 12, I might just sew some masks with my serger for my family. Please do. All right. 98 of y'all in here, so let me put this question out there, and if you're in here and you're tired of hearing about the masks, I apologize, but it's the hot thing going on right now for us, because again, crafters usually don't get the spotlight for the work that we do, but this thing is just like huge, and there are so many people out there that don't know how to sew. It's our time. It's our time. So at any rate, I was talking to a customer And based on the conversation that we had, you and I had last week on the mask, doing the embroidery on the mask to put something on the mask for embroidery ruins it, because it puts holes in the front, and now there are holes, so what's the point in the mask, right? That was the thought process, and it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I was sitting here trying to find a mask near me, because I've taken all of the masks out that I had, except for a couple of boo-boos. Oh, well, let's see. What does this one look like? Okay, so here's one. Why is this one right there? Oh, that's why. Okay, so here's a mask that I made. It's pink. These have been flying off of my virtual shelves. So, of course, they're pink and green, made for a specific sorority. But at any rate, these masks have been selling. These are the ones that everybody so far loves them. And what some folks are asking for is to have their line name or their name or something embroidered here on the front. And all this time I've been saying no, because you embroider, like, I would have to digitize the wording in with this design and fold my pleats in such a way to make room for it was just like drama. And then in here last week, some folks were saying embroider the fabric first, then after you embroider the fabric first, then put the mask together. Okay, I get that. Too much work for me. I get that. So I thought about that thing as I was telling this one customer, because she was like, I want 100 masks, but I want my logo embroidered on them. And I'm saying, like, no, I'm not doing it, because that's destroying them. But then I thought about it. The whole mask is embroidered. Does that make sense to anybody else? Do you get what I'm saying? Hold on, let me scroll down, because okay, Mama 12. I'm gonna highlight that so that I won't forget where I was. So does that make sense? Does that make sense? Sublimate. Yeah, okay, Marge, that is actually what I ended up offering the customer, is to sublimate her logo and what all, because she wanted a lot on the mask. So I suggested sublimation because it gives more room and I don't have to worry about embroidering through the pleats. But does that not make sense, y'all? So the whole thing is embroidered. So it doesn't matter. Even if it's stitched and sewn together, it doesn't matter, because you're still putting holes in all of the fabric, because you're sewing through all of the fabric. So I was like, I'm just saying, even if it, but in March, yes, because there's more, but even if it's sewn, you're still putting holes in it. So I was like, well, whatever. You want embroidery, then we'll give you embroidery. You're paying for it, by all means. That's extra for me. So at any rate, that's where we are. I just thought of that. Just wondered what other folks thought about that. Thank you, Tanya. It's good to see you. I did sublimation on white 100% cotton today. It came out great. I did my jobs logo. Wow. That's interesting, because I have not been able to sublimate cotton. Did you use the not desizer, but that stuff? Let me know if you use the stuff. Sheila Cushionberry, Mission 43 yourself. Oh, okay, sorry, you weren't talking to me. Diane Wilson went to Walmart this morning, got the shock of my life. Fabric shelves completely empty, and the sewing machine shelves. Sewing machine TPP. Sewing machine 2. I'm sorry, that's what you were saying. It's crazy. Jackie Maddox says hello from Maryland. Hey, Jackie Maddox, how are you? Jesse Gibson, hello. Angelia Baker, hi. Even the Who Group just finished doing another batch of masks. Have another batch to make, but needed a break. I took a break today. My goal today was to come and make more, because I still have orders that need to be filled. But I took a break today. I needed a break. My dad and my mom were like, you need a break. I'm like, I can't take a break. I got to get these done. But then at the end of the day, when I thought about it, I needed a break. I really did. So I took a mental nap break, slash, all of that. I did that today. Lupe says, I was forced to make bias tape to put on my mask because elastic band ran out. Found some on Amazon, but the price is 3 to 4 times the regular price. Yeah, folks are gouging with it. I did find, well, actually a viewer sent me a link to some elastic at a off the wall company that nobody else would really think about, and I was grateful for that. Will with Carolina Thread Place sent me, he told me about somebody down there that was selling elastic. It was 200 yards and it was cheap, so I bought all of that and have plenty. And then a viewer here, I don't know if she wants me to say, she sent me some elastic. I am eternally grateful for that, so I have that as well. So I've been making masks non-stop, Father. non-stop. And then I've had family donate fabric, different. Why does it sound like my phone ringing? Because it is. I've had family give fabric, different types. Like I have Charlotte Hornets now. I have Minnie Mouse. I have what else have they sent? Faith, Hope, Love. A whole list of Panthers. You know, that type fabric. I have that. So there's a lot of folks just wanting to help and wanting to get that. Look, another order just came in. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then, so help me, if I had known a fabric store was open somewhere close by and that stimulus check hit, get more fabric. But anyway, all right, so let's see. Melody Wilcox, I work at a Joann's in Southern California. We have to limit customers to 5 cuts per, and we have no elastic. We limit to 15 customers in a store at a time. I heard 10 here in Charlotte. Marge Campbell, I've been giving away fabrics and patterns for making sewing masks. I also give the masks I make away, trying to clear out the fabrics I have. And that is actually, on a personal level, that's partially why, number one, I'm going on and making the mask and just saying, okay, fine, I'll make masks. And number two, because I had so much fabric that I had purchased through the years, and it's just like sitting there waiting on I don't know what I was waiting on. Honestly, I have no clue. But I had so much fabric, and I had already sold off a lot of fleece and flannel that I had, trying to trim, cut back on some of these bins of fabric. And so finally I'm like, you know what, my mom and her sisters like really jumped in, and they've been cutting up the fabric for me in pre-cut sizes that I'm looking for. I'm clearing out every ounce of fabric I have. That's it. And I don't want it anymore. So it's like I might as well sell it. So I've been selling masks. And the scraps that are left over from them cutting up the fabric, I would like to find someone who quilts and just like, here, take that. We'll see. I don't know how that would work or whatever, but that's the plan. But right now, because of, the things that I've been dealing with anyway over the past few months, I needed the income. I really did. I needed it to come, and it came at a perfect time. And I at one point wanted to complain about the avalanche of work, but then I thought about it. I'm like, this is what I was asking for. A lot of times you can receive a blessing in thinking that it's supposed to be just given. And no, a lot of instances you gotta work for it. So working and making a little bit of money, I'm not overcharging for them, but charging enough because I have so many folks hands in helping and whatnot. And buying so much stabilizer, so much thread. My thread ran out, my pink thread. You can see the cone. That's how close I am to running out. And then, oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, this is a moment of transparency. Who wants to hear transparency? Y'all, normally, I'm being real transparent, y'all, to show y'all that this is just, I have moments. Normally I get my fabric from, my thread from Madeira, because there's a Madeira warehouse right here in Charlotte. I don't have to go anywhere. I just go, put in my order. An hour later, it's ready. Matter of fact, it ain't even an hour, because the guys know me so well. They go ahead and pull the order, and it's sitting there as soon as I walk in. And the place is 6 minutes from my house, maybe. So I go get my thread. Y'all, this stupid shutdown. This stupid shutdown. I needed thread, certain colors, and I called, and I'm like trying to place this order. You can't go pick up your orders now. And I'm like, okay. I tried to be slick and find a way around it, because I was going to place my order online and then type in the notes to the guys and be like, look, fill my order. I'm paying for shipping anyway, so fill my order, put my label on the box, and set it outside the dock door. I'll come get it. Don't worry about it. Just set it out there. I don't care. I'll pay for the shipping. Man, why? That must have been the Lord telling me no. Because I called, I tried to put the order in online, and it wouldn't go through my card. And I don't know why, because I know the money was there. And I called the lady, and I was like, the 800 number, and I'm like, I need to place this order, but my card isn't working, and I don't know why. And she was like, you check your bank. And okay, that was make me mad, number one. And I was like, I don't need to check the bank, because I know the money is there. Run the card. And then I said, she was like, well, we'll have to determine the shipping. I said, well, I need to put a note and let them know that they can set it outside the door. She refused to do that for me. I was so upset. Oh, y'all, I was mad. I was so livid. And I just hung up on her, because I was just like so upset. Which, now that I sit and think about it and reflect, my crazy self should have just went on and put in the order. Let them go ahead and ship it. I don't like their shipping prices. Madeira shipping is stupid high. I don't know. It's like they double their shipping cost just because. The thread is very inexpensive, very affordable, but the shipping is ridiculously high. And so I just wasn't trying to pay the shipping, but I should have went on and done it, because I needed that thread. And now I'm regretting it, because I don't have the thread I need to finish my mask. Hopefully, I did order from somewhere else, and hopefully it'll be here tomorrow, but I really needed it then, I thought. So, but anyway, that was a transparent moment. Sorry. I had to tell y'all. I had to tell somebody that, because that thing had me heated. She wouldn't let them put that box outside for me. And I'm like, why? What? I felt like a kid throwing a temper tantrum, because I'm like, that's stupid. If they set it outside, I'm not coming in contact with anybody. They're sitting it outside the door. I don't care. Just set it out. Oh man, it was ugly. That's how quarantine got me crazy, y'all. I can't get my thread fixed. I ain't worried about the fabric fix. I need my thread fixed, and that was real sad. But anyway, so I'm probably gonna have to order it tomorrow and let them ship it, and that's just real sad, because I'm gonna have to eat crow and call these people back. But anyway, let me see. I apologize. I got away from it, so let me go through. Diane Wilson says got her heat press afraid to start. I'm gonna have to ring the bell for you, Diane Wilson. Matter of fact, let's ring it now. Let's break up this conundrum. Heat press! Woo! Congratulations! Holler! Don't be afraid to start, man. That heat press is fun. Once you start heat pressing stuff, you'll be like, ooh, what else I got? What else I got to heat press? Margot, happy Easter to all. Thank you for letting us know that. So on says, which type of mask? I showed it already. I think you asked that before I showed it, but this is the one, and the pattern for this comes from embroiderylibrary.com. It is free. They have two sizes. This is the large size, and I don't have the smaller size in here to show you guys, but this is a really cool mat. This thing stitches up in like 8 minutes. I mean, no time really. It does help to have the fabric pre-cut and pre-pleated. I'm gonna tell you now, if you can get like a stack of those like what I have, you can't see on that end of the ironing board, I have a stack already pre-pleated, because my family is bomb.com, and they have pre-pleated a lot of fabric for me, so all I got to do is just put it on the machine. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it's neat. I've been able to teach family how to do stuff. Like my aunts took the time to learn on YouTube how to pleat. I showed my mom a cool trick on how to pleat and make sure the pleats are perfect. So it's been fun. Actually, I've pretty much enjoyed every bit of this. Debbie says, I made in hoop masks today, but it seems to take so long. I know it will get faster as I get used to them, but how long does it take everyone to make one? Okay, so my trick with that is, again, so I had my mom and her sisters were cutting the fabric up for me, and my husband. So they were cutting it, and I said 8x9 squares, which is smaller than what the instructions call for in this pattern. But I had to do it, y'all, because there's so many masks that were needing to be made. So I cut it down for a reason. So once we got it down to 8x9, we pre-pleated all of the fabric. So I take all 3 layers and pleat it and set it off to the side. Matter of fact, let me grab this so that you can see what I'm talking about, because it helps to have a visual. So here is the fabric already pre-pleated. Okay, so I have this stack, I have another stack in yonder. So we pleat the fabric, all right, and once the fabric is pleated already, I will take it and I will cut it down to 3 inches this way by 8.5 that way, and it fits perfectly in that first step square that's on the machine. It fits perfect. So I do that prior, so it's already pleated. I don't have to do that part, thank God. And then I take it, cut it down 3 inches by 8.5, put it, as soon as that first step, stitch out the outline placement stitches. Then I set this down and I hold it. I don't tape it down. I hold it in place. The machine starts. Once it starts stitching and it goes down and back up that side, I don't have to hold it anymore. I just let it stitch. If I still watch it, make sure it's straight. Then after it does the placement stitch, I grab the elastic. Okay, because I don't have to cut anything. I don't have to trim. So if you do it the way the pattern calls for, then you have to stop the machine, take it off the hoop. Not take it off the hoop, but take the hoop off the machine, trim, do your applique cut around to the stitch line, then put it back on the machine, then get your elastic, right? So I just avoid all of that by cutting it ahead of time. Put my elastic on, tape the elastic in place, both sides, and then start the machine. And I make sure that I put the elastic to a certain point on the mask, let it stitch and finish the outline. I just let it finish out, and that's it. I mean, it's really, I do the work ahead of time instead of after. So that's why I've come to thoroughly enjoy this specific embroidery pattern in the hoop. So that's how I make it and am able to go much faster with it. And while one machine is doing the satin outline stitch all around, the other one I'm either putting a new hoop on, starting a new mask, or I'm taking one off and getting ready to put a new one on. So I have them both going at one time, tag teaming. And then I have my husband out there. He's putting the stabilizer on the hoop for me, taking the stabilizer off, trimming up the mask, making sure everything looks good. I mean, it's just been like a routine going and getting them done, thank the Lord, because it's been a trip. PJ Copy says, "Gone tomorrow. I'm all over it." Jackie Maddox says, "I have lots of fat quarters, but no more 1/4 inch elastic." The 1/4 inch elastic, look for headbands. If you want elastic, look for the headbands at the stores. I don't have one to show you what I'm talking about. Not these, even though some people have been able to make these work. The little ponytail elastics. Some people have been able to do these. So, and these folks are catching on to this too, and they're flying off the shelves. The headbands are flying off the shelves as well. I appreciate the folks who were giving tips. If you have any other tips, let me know. You also possibly can do, what is it called? It's called what? Somebody help me out. Oh man, what is the name of that elastic? It's similar to this, but it's not quite the same. Kind of similar. Can you see that? No, focus. There we go. They use it for book bands, bookmarks. This is a little more rigid than that one. It's softer, and a lot of times they sell it with prints on it. I cannot for the life of me think. I have a headache, so it's not coming to me right now, but they use it for book bands and stuff when we're doing in the hoop embroidery. You can cut that in half, and that can also make elastic as well. And there's some folks on Etsy that are still selling elastic too. So definitely check there, because I did buy some off of Etsy. We have only one case in our little city, trying to keep it that way. If giving away masks and material to make them keep the community safer works for me, I know that's right. And I'm not knocking that at all, because initially my thought process was give the mask, especially for the workers, healthcare workers and whatnot. But again, at this point, in needing the income, not wanting the income, needing the income, it has worked out very beneficially, and folks have been more than willing to pay. So I've been very appreciative of that. Stay home, stay safe says using coffee filters inside. I have heard of coffee filters. I've heard of HEPA filters of the air conditioners or vacuum cleaner bags. I've heard of just another piece of cotton fabric. And at this point, there is a news article. Did I post it in the Hoop group? I probably did not. There is a news article out there where someone did research here in North Carolina at a college or research university, and they were checking to see what was beneficial, and their consensus was something is better than nothing. So if you can layer just something, then they would definitely appreciate it. I bought a lot of bolts of fabric when Pat Catans went out of business. It's been sitting for months. Well, now I guess I have a use for it. Mama 12 says, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Go through it. You might as well at this point. Jesse Williams, hello. How are you? Welcome. Angelia Baker, yes, people are buying fabrics like hotcakes. I had to go to Joann's and wait in line to get fabric because Walmart is out of fabric. Fat quarters, elastic, name it, they're out of it. Yep. Sheila Cushionberry says, being a nurse, I put a mask on her before leaving the house to head to the hospital, not taking any chances. Have 10 cases in my tiny town. Thanks for the well wishes. Oh my gosh. And thank you for being a nurse, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, because I can't imagine being a nurse right about now. I just can't. That's just you. No. You are definitely putting your life on the line when you go to work every day, if you still work. Karen Murray says he does online courses now. I took one 2 months ago, so John Deere does have online classes. Definitely check those out. Tanyu, welcome. Astride Saint Ledger, hello, how are you? Welcome. Miss Barrick says, my wife has a Brother SE625 and a Brother PE800 embroidery machine. I have a heat press and printer to convert to sublimation, but haven't converted it yet. I got to get on the ball. Yes, you do. Both of you got to get on the ball with that. But the sublimation is a lot of fun. It really is. I did sublimate one mask, but I don't have it on me to show you guys. I wish I did. Carmen Alvarado says, hello, Eve. Busy making face masks in Cali. Thanks for being life today on Easter. You're the best. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Andrea Ross says, I did sublimation on... Oh, I already read that one. Sorry. Ray Williams. John Deere is awesome. He has classes on YouTube and Facebook all the time. So I'm telling you, definitely check him out. Margot says, I'm going to try and embroider on my machine this week. I have a Brother Dream machine. That Dream machine is nice. Thank you. So here's the sublimation fabric that I did just to see if I could do it. I haven't made a mask out of it yet, but this is polyester, and I've had more people ask for fabric for these folk, for the Cowboys. I just like, y'all, oh my God, are you serious? Is there not no other type fabric you would, black, green, blue, what? And they're like, we want Cowboys. Are you serious? But anyway. So I was just like, forget it. If I can't find it, I'll sublimate something. So I sublimated this just to see if I could do it. Haven't sold any and don't necessarily plan to, especially not that because it has the star, but trying to figure out ways to sublimate something that would appeal to them that's not trademarked. Because you can't find the fabric. Can't find the fabric nowhere. I was fortunate and came across Tar Heels fabric, but that's probably gone by now anymore if I need it anymore. It feels like my whole life revolves around masks because of working at Joann's. Yeah. And I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing it. I promise. I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing it, and I'm sorry, but it's hot right now. Tanyu says, I'm making masks and listening to you. Could not miss you. Thank you. And you be careful making masks and listening. Diana Henderson is from Indiana in here. Thank you very much. Diamond Collins. Hey, Diamond Collins. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. I'm in the Hoop Group. I'll send you pictures. Okay, cool. Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I messed up my chat. Okay. Chris says, I'm making masks. I don't charge for them. I'm asking for donations to purchase more material. That's nice. Now that's nice. And hopefully they are doing that for you. And also the elastic isn't cheap as well. So if you have the elastic, then yeah, it's cool to definitely give that away. Sublimate the mask, Marge says, yas. All the local fabric stores are closed in Michigan. Ooh, my heart. My heart. I put my daughter's name on hers with a stabilizer on it, and it was great. Patricia says, you mean you sublimated on the stabilizer? Because I would think that would work. Janet McKinney. Hey, Janet McKinney. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. You are only sewing around the edges, Karen says. That's true. That's true. But it just, and Angelia says, on certain masks, the holes are in the seam allowances. I was just wondering, me personally, I just thought, I was like, I mean, it's still, I don't know. It just, I don't know. You know how sometimes you tell yourself one thing, but then when you sit and you really think about it, and I was like, I don't know. Well, let me ask them, what do they think? Marge Campbell says, I no longer do much top stitching. Pressing works, and I let the customer know they will have to wash by hand and let them dry, then iron press them. Yes, I do definitely let them know they need to wash them ahead of time. Aisha, I sublimated masks and my customers love them. Yeah, because it's definitely custom, and they can have exactly what they want, which is really cool. Jackie Maddox, embroidery on a mask makes no sense to me, but to each her own. Exactly. And that's what I had to come to, because I'm like, I told you this is putting holes in the mask. If you're okay with that, then so be it. You can have it. But I did this specific customer with the 100 masks. I told her she needs to sublimate, because that would take forever for me to sit and embroider on 100 masks like that. And I need to definitely get them out. Do you wash the material after? Miss Social Deb asks. I prefer to wash after. Just the quilter in me. I make my mask on a sewing machine rather than embroidery machine. I prefer to save my stabilizer for other projects. Yes, and I've already had to order stabilizer from Tex-Mex actually. So the stabilizer is going very quickly around here. I do not wash my material first. That was your question, and I apologize. I'm answering that. Jesse Williams, some are ordering masks plus a novelty mask, and that's cool too, because the novelty allows them to put that over the top of a regular plain old surgical mask, for instance. So yes, I have seen that. Shonda Smalls Wills, hello, welcome, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. PJ Coppage, I noticed that adults are in masks, but not any for the children. I think that's just crazy. I've had requests for children's masks, so I am doing those, but I haven't seen very many kids when I've been out. I did see one lady in the store with a baby, and she had like plastic over the top of his carrier thing, so like he was in clear plastic, and she was like not taking no kind of chances. But other than that, I guess now that you mention it, I haven't seen very many masks on kids. The few that I did see. Maybe they can't get them that small or something. I don't know. Hello, Miss Bickham. She says, busy making 1,500 masks. I'm trying to tell y'all, you better get it in. And congratulations to you, ma'am, for your 1,500 order. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Social Deb says, there are patterns out there for children. I just reduced my pattern by 1 inch or so, depending. That's what's up. Maria Cologne, hello, how are you? Suzanne R, I'm making and donating masks because I have fabric and elastic that I have had for years. I know that's right. Get rid of the fabric at all costs. Carmen says, I ordered my elastic on eBay and it took 4 days. My Amazon elastic order will come in April 21st. That's awesome sauce. And that's not the consensus of a lot of folks. Either they ordering from the wrong place or your place just so happened to get that elastic in. The lady that Will turned me on to, or Will bought the elastic for me, and then I bought it from him. She had ordered hers from Amazon months ago and she had too much, so she was selling the extra that she had. Miss Social Deb, our Joann's completely shut 2 weeks ago because of the government and local regulations. I miss it, y'all. This is it's a trip. Bick says, I've had to draft a special pattern for a couple of people. I've had a couple of people say that this specific size is too big. As I mentioned, even my daughter, this is too big for her. And then I have a cousin that mentioned just twist the ears, the elastic on the ears, and then put it on. And I was like, that's smart. I didn't think of that. So maybe try that. Madeira is shipping. Yeah, Madeira is still shipping. They're shipping from Charlotte. So I would probably get it in a day, but I didn't want them to ship it when I could have just picked it up from the door. Marianne Reddick, I was being a brat. Andrea Ross, I have a sawgrass that uses Chromoblast ink. Chromoblast ink is for cotton and Sublimation is for poly. That's cool. Now, I've not heard of that yet. And I've been looking into, that's crazy. I haven't heard that yet. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Eartha Lewis, I bought some elastic hair bands from Walmart, 6 to a pack. Just cut them to size. They work great. The band was goody. Yeah, that's the, or either the, you're talking about like hair tie, these little pony elastics, or the actual headband elastic. The headband elastic is where we've been getting them, those type, and cutting them. Yes. What brand is your multi-needle? This is a red line back here behind me. Did Old Creek Mills close their doors? Yes. Knick-Knack Nurse, they closed them, but for the quarantine. They were still open 3 weeks ago when I went by, 3-4 weeks ago now when I went by there. They were still open. They hadn't sold off all of the stuff. But the day that I was there, she was like, yeah, we're going to close tomorrow. We're not going to open tomorrow because of the quarantine. So we're just going to shut down. And I'm like, but why? Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, they're closed. You'll end up talking to the same person you hung up on too. Hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's funny. Who did I end up talking to? The same person I hung up on? Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you. I told you my head hurt. How is the fit? The fit is good. Janet McKinney, my Walmart has been out of fat quarters and trying to make some masks, but they don't come out that great. Still trying. They're a bit loose, not fitted, but I did one for me and my husband. The fat quarters have been working out really well for mine. Andrea Campbell, any suggestions on heat presses at mid-price ranges? Mid-price, I would definitely try heatpressnation.com. They have a excellent price point. Warranty is good, and they're just a really good company to do business with. So try heatpressnation.com and try and get as much press for your money as you can, because you will eventually use every bit of that space, I promise you. Because 15 by 15, I could go bigger and it would be very helpful if I did, but I'm using what I have. Bickham says you should have done a tutorial tonight so we can all see one made. I can. It's not hard. I did a live tutorial for the captains, and I can do like a run through for everybody to see, because like I have that one, it's already laid out and I could do it. Bungee cord, yes, I've heard Diamond Collins, I've heard someone, and thank you for being a YouTube Hooper member. I have heard somebody say something about taking apart a bungee cord and it can be elastic inside that you can use. I haven't seen it and I haven't tried it, but I heard that you can. What size hoop are you using to make your mask? Well, since is my what's her face in here? No, it's in the house. My tripod isn't in here. The size hoop that I'm using, let me see if this is gonna stretch. Let's take a field trip. Yay! Okay, so the size hoop that I've been using is this one, and forgive me because let me move this out of the way so I can make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. And that did not work. Sorry, give me one moment. Okay, so this is the size that I'm using. It's my Mighty Hoop. It's 8 by 13 on this machine. And then on the other machine, my hoop is the hoop that I'm using is for this one. I'm using my 4 1/4 by 13 Mighty Hoop. That looks blurry. There you go. 4 1/4 by 13, and it fits perfectly, as you see, in this specific hoop. This one is by far my favorite because it's far less stabilizer to use than this one, because that's a much bigger piece, much more waste, and so, you know, but it's all right. I have both of them going, and that's what's most important. Now, I did embroidery right here on this, but despite that, I'm gonna show you, let's see, despite that, I'm gonna show you what I mean as far as cutting it down. So here I have, only because this is already set up, here I have the pattern is in here. Actually, I need to take this one out because this one has the embroidery in it, the name. All right, so here I have 4 color stops for the mask. The first one is this. On this particular pattern, this is the first color stop. It's the outline, the placement stitch. So once that stitches in like what, 15 seconds, then that's done. And then it goes to color stop number 2. Now color stop number 2 is where it tacks down the fabric. And ordinarily what they want you to do is use the fabric larger. So this one has not been cut. I did not cut this one. So I'm gonna show you. So here's the outline, right? And this is how much bigger that is than the outline. So once you stitch the tack down, it's going to stitch along that outline, and so you're gonna have to take this off and cut all of that out. And that was just a lot. That was a lot. So let me see if, where's the one that I had? I think this one has been cut. Yeah, I think this one has been cut. So here's one that I did cut already out, 3 inches by 8.5. And so notice how the 3 inches, sorry, there we go, my pleats was trying to come apart. So notice how the 3 inches fits perfectly in this square. And my pleats are coming apart, so forgive me. There we go. See, it fits perfectly. So when it tacks this down, it's going to stitch just inside this placement stitch to hold the fabric down. So I don't have to cut it. I don't have to trim anything. It's going to stitch and hold it in place. And it's also just as wide as the placement line, so I don't have to cut anything. So that's what I was saying as far as cut it down to 3 inches by 8.5, so that when you put this down, normally it's pressed tighter than this. I'm gonna have to repress this to hold my pleats in place. But once it starts stitching, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to cut anything. My next step after this is not cutting it out. My next step is putting my elastics on the ends, and I tape that down, and then we go forward with finishing out the satin stitch, and that's it. I hope you saw all of that, because I just looked at the thing and saw it was down a little bit. So for instance, why not? I have this in place, and I'm gonna slide this down on this side, put that in place. gonna see if I can pull this off. And the reason why I'm saying I'm gonna see is because I did use this with the embroidery. So now this one, we're gonna see if I can't get it to work. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna put you in my boob and hold you right there. All right. Clip you to my shirt. So, nope. Tilt you down. There we go. All right. So here we have it's fit perfectly in that outline, right? So I'm going to set it to go ahead and stitch. I'm going to do white just because it's less irritating to have to do anything, even though I need to check my bobbin. Bobbin is green. That's not going to work. That's not going to be cute. So let's take that out and put in a white bobbin. And if you're wondering how I got a green bobbin from Madeira, it's because I filled it myself with my bobbin winder. Then I have a side winder bobbin filler thingamabobby. All right, so white is in the bobbin now, and I'm holding this in place. So now I have white already set, and let's see what we can't do. Nope. You want to skip that step and go to this one. And now I skipped the first, which is the placement stitch, because the placement stitch is already there. So now I'm gonna go to the tack down. And so as you see, I'm just holding my hand out of the way, but holding these pleats in place. And it's missing right there, but it's going to catch it down here. That was fun. So that's the first. So that's the first step, is the tack down. So now I don't have to worry about my fabric moving around anymore. So at this point, notice I don't have to trim anything because it cuts so close. The measurement was right there on it. And as a matter of fact, right here, it missed the fabric a little bit, but that's okay, because once it does the satin stitch, it's going to catch the fabric. All right. So all of this is now tacked down in place. So I'm going to grab my elastic, which is, I keep right up under it in a bucket. And I'm going to tape my elastic in place. And I'm using heat tape only because to me, the heat tape is stickier than the blue tape that was suggested to use. And I'm putting my elastic just over the edge of, and I make sure that the tape is out of the way, but I put the elastic over the edge of the stitch. So now we go to the next side. Tape it down. Usually it does not take me this long to do this, but I want to make sure you guys can see and explaining everything. I go much faster. Once you've done like 4 or 5 of these, it pops right into place. All right. Now I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I have altered this pattern to add an extra stitch. So the way my pattern is their pattern, but I added to it. So there's a satin outline stitch the next stitch step in the process is a tack down stitch to tack these into place, so that after they tack into place, you can trim the excess, but I don't trim. The reason why is because what I found out is when you trim, sometimes this, oh, let me grab it so I can show you. Sometimes this, if you trim, will turn into this. You see how that's looks like that's coming apart there? That's not good. We don't want that. And that comes from trimming too close. So the elastic comes out. So I leave it hanging over to make sure that when that satin stitch comes in, it covers it completely. And I added a second satin stitch right up in here so that it'll cover it twice with a much thicker satin border. So that's what I did with mine. So it's going to look a little bit different. But at any rate, so the next stitch is going to be a plate tack down stitch for both sides, and we'll do that now. And I don't stop my machine after the tack down because I'm like, okay, well, it's tacked down, I'm not trimming it, so just keep going. And that also saves me time. So now it's going to do the tack down, and because I put the tape out of the way, it's going to allow it to do the satin stitch, and I don't have to do anything else. See, it's tacked down now. Now hopefully this won't mess up because I did the stitching on this already. Now on this machine it takes 12 minutes to stitch out. On the other machine it takes 10. All right, so that's that. Now we're just gonna let it stitch out and finish that satin stitch because I'm not trimming the elastic. So what you'll see now is it's going to do my extra part that I put in here, and that's that extra satin stitch. And even though there's still a little bit of that elastic peeking out, I'll show you how I clean that up. See how it covered that elastic. That's just an extra step that I have in there. Let me take you off my shirt so I can show you. See? So again, what it's stitching now is a completely extra step that I programmed in here. So after this stitches, now it's going to do the satin stitch outline that's actually part of the original pattern. So we're gonna let that stitch and go. I'm gonna check for questions just in case I missed some. Oh, any news on the online classes? I was supposed to get those up by yesterday, honestly, but we'll be working on that the next couple of days. I've been so swamped with the mask that I haven't even posted the classes yet, so I'll probably do that tonight. Actually, 10:21. I'll probably do that this evening. Tying the mask makes it easier to adjust. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So Elizabeth Walker says she's been making masks with trade for items like toilet paper and eggs. I'm not mad. I also heard that you should cut down 100% cotton t-shirts for masks as well. I have not heard that. Let's see. You may think I'm crazy. I needed black cotton fabric, could not find any. Carmen Alvarado, I did the exact same thing. Exact same thing I did, and it does work. Matter of fact, oh, that's what this is. This is the front, but that is what's on the back. The only downside is it holds lint and stuff more, but other than that, that's what this is, Carmen, because I couldn't find any either. Same, I mean, it's cotton, so yeah, it works. Hi, Ricola Hanfield, thank you for joining us. No worries. Patricia Husky, done it on the top piece, stabilizer inside, and use my Husky lock to go around the edge, and family and friends love it because I make quilts the old-fashioned way. Nice. If you have a clapper, those pleats will stay flat when you press them. Hit them with your heat press for a second or two. I don't have a clapper. I need one. I couldn't even think of the name of it, because trust me, I was saying that to myself. I was like, if I had that thing that goes on top of the hot stuff when you pressing and keeps the crease and it absorbs the heat, this would be great. Couldn't even think the name of it. Clapper. Okay, that's awesome. I don't have one. I'll have to look for one. How many inches? My elastic is 1/4 inch. Thank you for showing us how to make the in the hoop mask. You're welcome. You are welcome. You're welcome. Boonchilla. Hey, love. I've been making masks with jersey spandex ties. Better than elastic in my opinion. I made some jersey elastic, but I have not used it. Trisha, you said 3 layers for the mask. Well, the 3rd layer is a thicker cutaway. It's a thicker cutaway. It's more dense than, it's like a medium weight cutaway. Because I know cutaway holds up to washing, because that's what you use in your clothing when you embroider on clothes. That layer of cutaway, it doesn't go away when you wash it. So I was like, that's perfect. I'm taking clean used t-shirts and cutting 1-inch wide strips. Yes, Marge, I was doing that. I haven't used it yet, but I have cut some, and there's a stack out there on the thing. But like I said, fortunately, I was able to get that roll and cut it up. These are already pre-cut too. That helps as well. When those are pre-cut, you just put them on and keep going. I mean, I tried to have everything done ahead of time, so that all I have to do is just, what's a clapper and where do you get it from? I don't have one, but it's a block of, I don't know if it's wood or what, but it's a block. And when you press creases, a lot of tailors and seamstresses use them, so that when they press the fabric's really hot, right? And if you notice, when you press it and it's hot and you take the iron off, the pleat kind of rises up a little bit, kind of how this was doing. See how this is up and not crisp and held down? Well, if you have a clapper, when you press it and you put the clapper on after you press it and you let it cool off with that clapper, then it will hold everything in place. So when you take the clapper off, your pleats stay pretty much flat for the most part. It doesn't rise up because it wasn't pressed in place. Like for instance, this This was pressed, but notice how the pleats are holding much better when I lay it flat versus this. Look at the difference in how the pleats are. Can you see that? It's a little bit different, but the difference is more apparent when you're working with the fabric, because this, I put something over the top of it to hold it in place as it was cooling off. That's what the clapper does, if I'm understanding. You can get it at Joann's if your Joann's is open. But yes, definitely. Oh, eggs are hard to find, man. We went to the chicken place. All right, y'all, the mask is done. The mask is done. So pretty much all I do at this point is take it out, and that's that. Here's our mask. So let me turn this and show you the rest. And so usually what I do at this point is I take this and set it off to the side in a pile with the rest of them as they come off, and my honey takes them and he cleans them up for me. So we tear the stabilizer off, and because it's tearaway, soft tearaway, and it has the fuzzies, you know, you see your fuzzies on the edge looking like hair along the edge of this. All right, and then you got, sometimes you get your loose threads, and sometimes it's not cut clean enough, like the 8.5 inches is just too long, or it shifted, so sometimes I'll have to trim some of the fabric from there. But here you got the little fuzzies. So there's a couple of things I do. I'll take some little teeny cleanup scissors and just trim this stuff off to get it cleaned up for the most part. All right, trim the main bigger threads just to make sure I don't cause myself a problem later, and I'll show you what I mean. Oops. All right, so after I trim all my little trimmies and whatnot, then comes my daughter's favorite part, and we finish off everything. So I take the lighter and I run it along, and it eats up those fuzzies. I don't know how well you can see that. See the difference in the sides? Maybe if I put it against my black shirt. No, okay. You can see fuzzies on one side and no fuzzies on the other. It's because the lighter makes short work of them. So you just go on down really quick and hold the elastic out of the way, because the elastic will melt. And then I go down the end like that and get those fuzzies. Hold the elastic out of the way on this side from the, yeah, I did it right the first time. No, I did it wrong. From the front. And then get it that way. And then what I usually do is I'll kind of push up on that tearaway so that it'll stick out and burn that down too. Okay, so that's how I clean these up. Does it always go that smoothly? No, but I'm glad it did for y'all on camera. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is I put, now as I mentioned, I put the extra step in here, right? So you see 2 layers of satin stitches, two rows. This first one is the one that's the extra protection for the elastic, and this is the one that's programmed into the embroidery design, right? And so when I place my elastic, sometimes, as you see right here and right here, it still peeks out a little bit. So to clean that up, I kind of bend this forward a little bit so that it'll stick out some, and watch how it melts. Melts right away because of the stuff in the elastic. It just melts right off. It's like it wasn't even there. So that's how I clean up the masks. And after that, child, me and the lighters have been buddies over the last couple of days. Okay, So after I do that, then my next step, checking and rechecking. And sometimes, especially with this black, as I mentioned to Carmen, the fabric picks up lint a little more, so I might lint roll it just to get it to look a little bit better. Fold it in half, tuck my elastic, stick it in a baggie, 3x4 inch baggie, and ship it out to the customer. That is, yes, I do provide washing instructions with my mask. This is how I package them. The washing instructions are on the oh man, do I have one? The washing instructions are on the receipt that goes in the bag. Let's see, is this one? Nope. Nope. I thought I had a printout of one that packing paper, but I don't have one to show you what it says. But on that, it says machine washing instructions: don't use bleach, wash, lay flat to dry. That's only to protect me with the elastic, because drying elastic over and over and cotton and Clorox doesn't exactly play well together. So it protects me from all of that. I told you no dryer. I told you no Clorox, and be safe. And I also put on there no returns, because the first thing people are going to do when they take this out is what? Put it on their face. So if you're already sick and you're trying to send this back, that's not going to work, because I'm not going to take back a germy mask. So I tell them no returns. But if need be, like if the elastic pops or something like that from the seam of the mask, then I'll make another one and send it within a certain amount of days. So all of that is on the website. They can see all of that. Make sure it's clear. There's probably some other disclaimers I need to have on there, but for right now, in a rush moment, that's pretty much what I've put out there. So this is how I do it, and I stick it in an envelope like so, and it goes to my customer with their packing slip in there and a hand signed note with a smiley face. Do I have a serger? Patricia asks. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Scooby-Doo, there's a chicken farm near me that has eggs. Good thing I'm vegan. Yes, that does help you right now. Definitely, Scooby-Doo, because vegetables are usually plentiful and cheap, whereas regular food, no, sorry, they're not usually cheap, but they're plentiful. But the meat and stuff is cheap, and it's crazy. A lot of our local restaurants are taking orders for fresh produce and meats at their cost, and you pick up when truck delivery comes in due to shortage. Yes, we are doing that. Charlotte, how long is the elastic? The elastic is, according to the pattern, to be cut at 7 inches. Anyone ever order fabric from Moody's online? I have not, but I've heard of Moody's, and it would love to go in there and look at their fabric. The elastic around the ears after it's stitched, I don't know, but it's 7 inches is what it's supposed to be cut at. So 7 1/4 or 6 3/4, just because it's cut. Both myself and my aunt, we were just cutting at 7 inches and going like a madhouse. So once you put it on the ear, a lot of that depends on the face, right? And so, as my cousin was telling me, if it's too long, twisted when you put it on, because her boyfriend had to twist his, it was too long, and then twist it on the other side too. I can't do it right now because my ears are weird. Hi, Mom. My mother is in there. in here. I don't know. What did you answer, Mama? Oh, you said 7 inches. Yes. Mama's been helping me cut this fabric. Did you help cut the elastic? I don't remember. Cut the elastic, cut the fabric, pleat. I mean, we've been pleating queens around here. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And how I've been making them. Fold over elastic. Ah, thank you. Fold over elastic. You can use that and cut it in half. Thank you, y'all, because I could not remember the name of that for the life of me. Shoelaces are being used. Grosgrain ribbons are being used. Yes, I have grosgrain. I haven't gotten to that yet. If we get to it, I will use old leggings, cut them into thin strips. That would work, wouldn't it? Twill tape and hairbow ribbon. Yas. Thank you for the suggestions, everyone. Jackie Maddox says definitely correct. Maria, I made over 50 masks this week. Haven't done any in the hoop. I downloaded in the hoop from Embroidery Library, but couldn't get it to work. This one is definitely the one from Embroidery Library. Eartha Lewis, don't use vacuum bags or air conditioner filters because they contain fiberglass. Didn't know that. I have not, because I don't have any. Probably would have tried them, but I don't have any. Andrea Ross, Cotton Treasure Company on Etsy is still shipping fabric. I ordered my NFL fabric from Carolina Cotton Company on Etsy and received that order in 2 days, both free shipping. Thank you. I'm going to have to look and see if they have NFL fabric. In the garden center of Lowe's, Walmart, Lowe's, etc., there's a roll of twist ties that you can use to form the nose area. That is exactly what is inside the plain mask you find in the hospitals. I considered... Who said Cowboys are the best? Angelia Baker. Hilarious! Everybody knows for me, Diamond Collins, Cowboys for life. Everybody knows for me, I could care less about any of them because none of them send me a check. So, you know. I considered digitizing a section in here to put the nose thing. But after I thought about it, that was a whole lot of another step, and I would then have to be on the lookout for the ties as well, and so I decided not to. So far I haven't had any complaints except for one. Not really, it wasn't really a complaint, but my aunt, who used to be in nursing, she's since retired, but she took her mask and she put her own tie in there. She taped it in her mask and made it, so that it would form fit to her the way she's used to. And I was like, okay, I'm not mad at that. That totally works. So that way as well, it allowed it to stay reversible for whomever, because she could take it off and tape it to the other side if she wanted to wear it that way or whatever. So, but yeah, so far I haven't had too many people asking about that. But yes, that could be done. You can also use floral wire. I was also told pipe cleaners. I went and bought pipe cleaners off of Amazon just to give that a shot and decided not to, because that was something else. 3M Filtrate brand level don't have fiberglass. Okay, well, that's good to know. That is good to know. The average cost of a mask, Deborah Vance, I'm not sure. For the most part, people are either saying $5, $10. I've even heard $25. I am not charging $25 for no mask. Unless, now I am charging extra for embroidery. So if they want it customized with embroidery, yes, there is an extra charge for that. And I've had a couple of people happily pay that because they wanted their embroidery. I've had one lady, and both of those orders are large orders, and the masks are embroidered. And then I had another lady with a semi-large order, and she realized that embroidery charge was per mask, and she decided she didn't want to do it. But the folks that want the embroidery, they're generally paying for it. Bickham, I'm adding a pocket flap to the inside of my mask to add a filter of some sort. They say you can use brownie paper towels since they're thick. I have 4 styles of masks so far. See, and I didn't want to get into a bunch of different options. I'm keeping it simple. So if these aren't the options you want, that's fine. This is what I'm doing. This is what's working. So this is what I'm going with. Because when you have a group of folks that are helping you and folks working with you and then throwing monkey wrenches and changing up stuff. It's a lot. So I just kept it the same for me. But if I had have done it the way I originally wanted to, then yes, I would be making several different types of masks. But I'm glad I stuck to my guns and I'm only doing one type right now. So yeah. She said she gonna put Scooby-Doo in the wheel. Let's see. I have elastic on the way, thinking of reselling it now. Boomchilla, holla at me if it's 1/4 inch. What is the first layer? Just started watching Life with JJ. Life with JJ. It's cotton. I'm using cotton, unless it's sublimated. If it's sublimated, then I would use polyester on the outside. But I haven't actually made a sublimated mask yet. I've only just sublimated the fabric just to see how it would look, because I wasn't sure how well the polyester would hold the pleats, but it actually looks great. So hopefully we'll get into those. Hey, Little Nelson, welcome. Thank you for joining us live and in color. I can't even sew a button on right. Oh no, not the button. We had to bury 42 eggs in my garden because we had too many and couldn't eat them all. All the people we were offering to before for free are asking to buy them now. Wow, that's crazy. Ooh, but I bet that soil over there is rich. Do you have any other recommendations? Carly Bell. Hello, Carly Bell. Welcome from New Orleans. Hopefully you are being safe as well. Boonchilla asks, do you have any other recommendations? Does anyone have recommendations for fabric stores online? Did buy some more jersey spandex from Moody's, my first time, but do you have any other recommendations? And whomever recommended the Etsy store, thank you. I find for elastic 6 inches works for most women, 6.5, 7 for men. I'm using t-shirt strips. That's nice to know. 3mm macrame cord for ties. That works too. Jackie Maddox, foldable elastic, but was afraid to cut it down the center. Thank you. I was cutting mine. I understand the bungee cords. The elastic inside has latex, and a lot of people are allergic. Yes, so a lot of folks allergic to elastic. I think the style of mask you're making works well. I make the same thing, only in small, and they do have a smaller one too. I haven't had luck with pipe cleaners either. Boomchilla says, well, I bought 2 bags and not even using them. I might later, but right now, no. You know your glasses will steam up when wearing a mask. Yes, clean your glasses with shaving cream and they won't fall. That's a cute tip. I like it. Janet McKinney, tearaway. Yes, tearaway is what I stitch the mask on, but on the inside it's cutaway. You don't see the cutaway because it's sandwiched on the inside. See, here's the back, here's the front, and on the inside is the cutaway as an extra layer. Designs by Baby Moon has 2 different bundles of cute embroidery face masks for free. Yeah, I think that's the one with the doggy face and the cat face or something. That would be cute for kids. Miss Social Dev, I agree. I'm only doing one pattern. It could get out of hand with all the patterns. It can, and if it was to the point where aunties could come help and I was able to get a crew or whatever, it'd be different. But right now is, for the most part, putting them on and off this machine is he and I, and it's just like, it's just 2 people, 4 hands, 4 arms. You can only do what you can do. The curve is where I'm having a problem. The curve where on the I need some advice for sewing around the circle for the mask, beginner. Okay, so you're talking about sewing the mask, so that's going to be the one where folks like Miss Bickham, the different styles of masks I'm making are for my family. The 1500 are for a company that needs some. So for those of you that are sewing, what tips do you have for sewing around the curve? Now, one of the tips that I would give, me personally, because I'm one that is very, what's the word? Anal, I guess, for lack of better words, when it comes to sewing and making sure that everything is just so. I don't like for this to be different from that to be different from that to be different. So get a pattern of some sort that will help shape the curve that you're looking for. So for instance, if your curve is, you know, in the shape of a CD, use the CD every time and take a washable marker and draw the line on the fabric and sew along where you can see and follow the curve as you're sewing it, instead of following the edge of the fabric, because the edge of the fabric can shift, you know, as you're sewing it, and it can throw you off a little bit. But if you have that line to follow and it's pinned in place, then that could definitely help you out. Now that's me. That's pretty much how I do my patterns. No matter what pattern I'm doing, I try my best to make sure I have an outline drawn to help me as I'm stitching along. So you may want to try that. Did anyone see the sublimated mouth mask? It is so cute. That was emailed to me today, and if I could find it, I would do it. But I don't know where that design is. I would definitely do it. Tunda Ram, very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Getting yourself a quilting foot, 1/4 inch quilting foot will help. Makes all the difference, especially on those curved lines, she says. So that's what's up. So if anyone knows where that mouth mask is, which it was very cute. Actually, I meant to show you that. If you know where that is, let me know, because I would love to have it, because it was hilarious. Matter of fact, let me see if I could pull it up. How did she send it to me though? Oh, I can't even remember. There it get. Oh, ooh, I just drowned y'all out. Sorry. Hold on. How do I do this? This way, this way, this way. Nope. Sorry. I was texting one of y'all. My bad. I heard the best way to find your pattern that works best is put on your mask. Can you breathe easily? Wear it for a couple of hours to test it. Yeah, I didn't do that. Makes sense. True. However, if you are a customer that is buying one, yeah, it kind of sucks. I found this out real quick this weekend. Quilting foot is worth its weight in gold. Shortening the stitch length and shortening the stitch length and sewing slowly around the curve helps me. That was a tongue twister. You gotta be kidding. For some reason, it thought that mask was embroidered. I thought that mouth mask was embroidered. The one that was sent to me was not. Oh, I got distracted, which isn't new. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can blow this up so that. Oh, come on, bro. I hate when the phone rotates. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can show y'all this because I can blow it up. Hold on. See? That's the mask. See, it starts out looking like buck teeth, and then when you open it up, isn't it cute? Totally cute. I did. You don't have to. You don't have to, Scooby-Doo. That's not an issue. I think it's sublimation and more that, yeah, sublimation and more. Yas. For a beginner, I would take my time, and as you stitch an inch or so at a time, leave your needle in, raise your presser foot, pivot to stay with the curve, and repeat to the end. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, how did she do that? Yeah, that's the sublimation. Exactly, Boom Chilla. I'm trying to tell you, that's like the cutest thing ever, and I want it like bad. Oh my god, I'm showing that there. Okay, so at any rate, I hope y'all enjoyed watching the mask being made wherever it went. What did I do with it? I'm forever setting stuff. Oh, I put it in its package. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching the mask get it made. That is a hoot. Gotta find it. I'm trying to tell y'all, it was just totally Scooby-Doo. I promise it's gonna be all right. But what I would say is that way I could, if I pay you to ship it back so I can send it to somebody else, but that would be about it. But even then, I'm not worried about it. It'll be okay because I have more on the way. But this was a lot of fun to make. I have not taken the time out to learn something. I'm trying to tell you right now, the masks for us sewing people and embroidery people, masks are where it's at. Aside from that, sublimation is everything right now. Sublimation is definitely a hot thing to get into. But I hope y'all enjoyed the thing today. Marianne Reddick, I was going to do that lip design on Nina's SS and iron onto cotton. Oh yeah. That will work too. The Nina soft stretch. Yes. That will definitely work. Smart Needle has 5 free masks for kids. They have a dog, cat, bear, and a monkey. Cool. So check out Smart Needle for masks for kids. If I'm not mistaken, that's in the hoop, right? Because it has the embroidery on it. Where did she say that came from? Hold on, I want to look before I get off of here and make sure that that's where I saw that. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Let me go here to Google. Oh, that's a group, I think. Oh man. Are you talking about Cindy Lou? Are you talking about a Facebook group? Or are you talking about a, do they have a website? No, it looks like it's, yeah, that's just a Facebook group. Okay. I'm gonna have to join it. I have to join the group. Join the group. All right, cool beans. And now I'm going to try this. Let's see if actually, let's do this. Ew, wow, that's creepy looking. Okay, so I was trying to find and see if there was a way to look up sublimation face mask sublimation designs, but it doesn't really pull up. Like, we may have to get it off of Etsy. Look on Etsy and try and find something, because Googling it didn't pull up anything. It just pulls up masks that are already sublimated. So, and that's not what we want. We want the design, not the actual mask itself. So at any rate, you guys, I enjoyed it tonight. It is 6 minutes till. I was tired earlier, definitely tired now. Let's see. They also have a frog, Eartha Lewis says. Sweet. You're welcome, Tanya. Miranda, yes, thank you very much. Disabled nurse trying to give back. Oh, that's awesome. Sauce, thank you. Thank you very much. Where you get your ink? Myra Thompson asks. If you're talking about sublimation ink, I get it from either Ink X Pro on Amazon, which they're probably out now, or Cosmos ink, which is really good ink. Cosmos ink, they have some as well. And I think the link is in the description. Good night, Maxine Seeley. Thank you. You're welcome, Jackie Maddox. Thank you. Thank you, Ray Williams. It was on YouTube. Cindy Lou says, okay, cool. Pearl Lucas, thumbs up, says, don't forget. My ink is not good. Then try, Myra Thompson, try Cosmos ink. The link should be in the description. If not, Google Cosmos ink and it should pull up. All right, you guys, thank you so very much. I definitely appreciate you joining me. It was a lot of fun. We ended up doing an embroidery project. I wasn't expecting to do that, but it's okay. I was showing the process of how to make the In the Hoop face mask from Embroidery Library with my shortcuts. Okay, so the shortcuts that I used was the first thing I did. I can't find the one I saw first like you showed, but I do see another one when you type in sublimated lip mask on YouTube. Okay, cool. The first shortcut that I did was I cut the fabric down to 8 inches by 9 inches, and then once it's pleated, then I cut it down to 8.5 by 3 inches with the pleats folded flat. I hold it down with the ruler, cut it to 3 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide, and it fits right in that first step square, and it helps keep you from having to cut out around the mask after it does the tack down stitch. If I had been thinking, I could have showed you my super trick for pleating, but we'll have to possibly save that for another video if you're interested in seeing how to make perfect pleats easily perfect pleats. So may have to do a YouTube video on that. I think that would be cool because I haven't done a YouTube video in a good while. So but at any rate, I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. It was really cool, and we were a packed house, so I definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all, Lord willing, next week again, and we'll see if we're still on lockdown by then. Yeah, we are going to be, because I think they're saying May now. So for those of you interested in the class cruises for the virtual cruise, all right, the virtual cruise, we were supposed to do our cruise May 18th. So it will be officially 30 days out. So that's what I was shooting for. Whoever asked earlier, that's what I'm shooting for. 30 days to put the classes up, let the classes be open to those who wish to take part in the classes. All right. So, for 30 days out, we'll post the classes and you will be able to join them if you want to. Okay. So with the virtual cruise, we had classes scheduled on the cruise. And then of course with quarantine and all of that jazz, cruise is off, but that's okay. We're going to do it virtually. So once we go virtual, what we're going to do is offer the classes anyway, but it's going to be online. My goal is to have it set up classroom style where we're video conferencing everyone so that we're all in the class together, if I can get this pulled off correctly. Now, the problem with that is some people may not want a camera, and that's cool. You don't have to have a camera, but you want to have a way that you can look in if you so choose to do so for the class. Now, we had the Cutting Up with Cutters class where we show how to use the cutting machines to cut vinyl and stuff like that. It was going to be for a vinyl project, like maybe an In the Hoop project or something along those lines. Not sure I'm going to continue with that class, but I'll let you know for sure. Soap making for the taking. I wanted to cancel that class, but and let me know if you signed up for that class. Let me know if you still want to take it, because what the instructor wants to do is ship you the supplies that you need prior to the class so that you can follow along with the class, and she still wants to do it virtually. Okay, so if you're interested in doing the soap making for a taking, which all of this is going to pop back up by the 18th, then you can go ahead and do that, but you will need to register and submit your address so that she can mail you your soap making supplies, and then you can make it along with her virtually. All right. Embroiderers Stitch Artist Basics and Beyond with Melissa, with the designs by Little B, teaching Embroiderers Stitch Artist. So if you have that software, Embroiderers, then she was going to teach her class, and far as I know, she's still doing that virtually as well. Cricut crafting class. We are still going to do our Cricut crafting. That is a class with me. That's going to be virtual as well. Sew Art Digitizing with Heart by Stephanie with Clever Dog Designs, teaching Sew Art. So if you have the Sew Up Pro sister software, Sew Art, which is a digitizing software program, her class is still on as well. Hers will be virtual as well. Business Savvy Crafters with Jay Black, instructional class that'll get your business back on track. Her class is definitely still on as well. So a business class for those of you wishing to get your embroidery or crafting business off and up to a whole live another level. Her class is going to be virtual as well. All these classes are going to be virtual. Sew It Pro, what do you know, with me? That's going to be a class that's available. And then the screen printing class is not going to take place because, of course, screen printing, you need the screen printing equipment, and we don't have that to do virtually, so that class is going to not be available. So that's right now the lineup. We're looking to add another 2 classes, and I will be confirming that this evening for sure. Definitely 1 class, but another class will most likely be added, and I will have the link for that class, all the classes, when they go live, and post it in the hoop group, the free hoop group on my website, thebabiesbooty.com. So all of this is going to be available. Anyone can take the virtual class now. You don't have to be on the cruise. So I look forward to anyone who wishes to cruise virtually with us. You know, I threatened to wear a bikini during the class. I think I'm gonna have to kick that idea to the curb because, you know, complaints. No, I'm just kidding. Ain't no way I wear no bikini in no class. But anyway, especially not on camera. But it would be fun, you know, get our little theme going on. And so I'm really looking forward to have you guys in the virtual classes and taking those as well. So definitely for beginners, Joanne sold me a machine and then all their classes got canceled. Oh no. Yeah. A lot of classes have been canceled. A lot of stuff has been canceled, unfortunately. So I'm excited about these virtual classes though, because we can now, I was limited before because of the room size on the ship, but now we can do up to, I think it's 50 people per class. So we will still be a little bit limited. I would like a class with bling. Well, we can probably do that too. Now that I'm thinking about it, as long as you have, you register and I can get the materials to you, I guess we can do that too. That'll be cutting it a little close, but we can possibly do that. I know. So yeah, Suzanne Girl Grand Go just canceled my cruise, hoping to reschedule in the fall. That would be nice. But I know I'm not going to redo the craft cruise because of some limitations that was there with Carnival. So we're not going to do that, but we are looking at possibly doing a resort of some sort so that it'll be on land and more people could come if they wanted to, but we'll cross all those bridges when we get to it. Right now I just need everybody to stay safe and coronavirus free. All right, so I appreciate y'all joining me this evening. I always enjoy having you join us here at the Baby's Booty Studio, and until the next time we see you all, we hope you have a great night. Happy crafting and happy embroidering. So you guys have a good night, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.